honestly, honestly, you have to ask yourself, is Real Madrid broke, man? Because they want to sack Ancelotti, but they don't want to pay his severance fees for the guy who's given them so much glory, so many trophies, so much success. And to many, it was reported that Real Madrid, executives think that Ancelotti has been their greatest ever manager in their history of the club. And for you to not want to pay his severance fees, come on, man. That's either a lack of respect or a lack of funds. Not only that, they want to get Xabi Alonso in, but they don't want to pay his release clause to Leverkusen. So what does that tell me? Because at this point, it's not even about, respect. It's about you not having the peas to be able to sign these players because let's be honest, Real Madrid signings, man, have been free transfers for the most part. Kylian Mbappe, free transfer. Trent Alexander-Arnold, free transfer. Aside from Jude Bellingham, they've really not had some big transfers like they used to back then. They want Ronaldo 100 mil, no problem. Gareth Bell 100 mil, no problem. Now it's like we're gonna put the foundation and we're gonna get them for free in 3 years. And people say, oh, they're moving smart, but what about with the manager? You want to get rid of the manager now, but you don't want to pay the fees. So you're stuck with him right now. And you want to get another manager, but you don't want to pay the transfer clause. So you're just moving broke, in my opinion. That's like somebody coming in. You're going to a Prada store, right? You see those sunglasses. Damn, I really want those Prada glasses. But nah, I don't want to pay the 500 bucks. Well, hey, aren't you? But isn't that same person talking about how you can afford it? How you can afford anything you can, but why aren't you getting those glasses you want? You know? That's because he can't afford it. Because if he could afford it and it wouldn't even touch his bank account, you go and buy him. You don't even tell anyone. You say, I'm gonna go get him. But Real Madrid isn't moving like that. Real Madrid is window shopping, man. Window shopping. Real Madrid, it's been reported that they want to bring in more Spanish players because aside from Danny Carvajal, they don't really have a significant Spanish player. And look at that. Hoyson, nice player, coming out of Bournemouth, international with Spain, starting with Spain recently, in UEFA Nations League. And he's having a great year. Transfer cost of 58 million for a Spanish player, man. 58 million transfer cost. The player wants you. And they said, you know what? We're out of the race. 58 million's too much. 58 million for a center back that can play with right leg and left leg, man. He could play on the right side and the left side. He has no weak foot. Great player, man. Underrated in my opinion. Turned around that Bournemouth team, him and Kirkies. Honestly, Real Madrid not paying that? Come on. Come on. They said, oh, we can't get him for free? Nah. They said the same thing with Saliba. Oh, we want to get Saliba, but we're going to put the foundations. So in 2028, 2027, we can go sign him for free. Mate, Real Madrid used to come in, be conquerors, man. They used to be conquerors. They'd be, you know what, we want that player. What's the price? Boom, done, deal. That was when they were financially peaked. Now they made all these innovations to the stadium. They spent all that money on the Bernabeu to make it something that it's not. All these concerts that it was going to host, canceling on them. Financially, this is hurting their pockets because the investment isn't doing them well. They put in money on an investment in the stadium to make it like, the football stadiums in America where, yeah, they play their games, but there's concerts, world tours. They make all this income when the stadium isn't being used by the team. And Real Madrid seen that. They wanted to do that, and it's failing them because they don't have the same, customers that the US has. The US spends a lot more money on stuff like that. They will spend a lot more than Spanish people. Spanish people save up their money to go watch Real Madrid, not to go watch Taylor Swift. American people will sometimes they'll skip out on the Chargers game to go watch Travis Scott. That's a simple fact. And Real Madrid is suffering here. And, as much as they clown Barcelona, this is karma, man. This is karma because you are turning into the very thing you made fun of. And that's crazy because back then, Madrid 58 million for a center back, boom, get it done. Ooh, 85 million for the center back for the next 10 year, boom, get it done. Ooh, new manager, this is what it costs, boom, get it done. Not anymore. Papa Perez, what's going on? Financially, man, I'll give it a year before Real Madrid comes out and starts, becoming bankrupt, starts having all these statements. It's gonna be crazy, man, because all their transfers, all they want to do is free transfers, man. Supamendi, they lost the race. You know why? Because he can't afford the transfer clause. You think Supamendi, seeing that midfield, doesn't want Real Madrid stay in the same country than Arsenal? But Arsenal could afford him. That's the difference. But anyways, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Do you think Real Madrid is broke or they're moving smart? But anyways, thank you guys for watching.